Hey everybody, it's Jen from Geigley Knits. I haven't made a YouTube video in a really long time, but I've been feeling the urge lately, probably because it's fall, it's knitting season, it's almost Rhinebeck time, and I just feel like talking about Rhinebeck and knitting and sweaters and flannels and coffee and fall in general. It just kind of brings this out of us, I think, as knitters. I have been knitting in a knitting frenzy with different deadline knitting projects for things that I am working on for different yarn companies, but also my own personal knitting. And I thought I'd kind of share what I'm working on and see what you're working on. I'm definitely trying to finish a whole bunch of projects before Rhinebeck. I know you don't have to, you really don't. To go to Rhinebeck, you don't have to have a Rhinebeck sweater. You can do whatever you want. You can wear a sweater that you already have made, or a shawl, or socks, or hats, or whatever. There's no rules, but it is kind of fun to knit a sweater, or knit a sweater with a group of friends and go together in matching sweaters. Anything goes, really, but it is kind of fun to have some new knits that you've finished this year or recently, and you know, I just can't resist the urge to do that, I guess. So let me show you kind of what I've been working on and what's still in progress. Last week, I finished my fastest project ever. As soon as I got the yarn, I cast on within like 10 minutes of opening my package, which that was, you know, wow, good for me. It's different. I usually don't do that. But I've been seeing people making the Sophie scarf from PetiteKnit. You've probably seen this around too, because it's very popular right now. It's a wonderful size. It takes 1 skein of DK, a little bit less. I didn't even use a full skein. This yarn is from Lavender Loon, who's a friend of mine. Hi, Sam. And when I saw this color, I had to have it. It is like my perfect gold green. It is gorgeous. It is super soft. I knew it would be the perfect yarn for this project, and I was right. And so I've been seeing people kind of, you can wrap it around twice and do a little knot in the front. I think it's so cute. It's a great little layer, like for under a jacket, or just anytime. I don't know. It's really cute and easy to style, and anybody can throw it on, and it's just like perfect. And it's so fast to knit. I had this done in a day, maybe a day and a morning. And I'm not even the fastest knitter in the world. So this is like a really fun thing that anybody could bust out before Rhinebeck. You still have plenty of time for this. And yeah, who doesn't have a skein of DK lying around? Or go to Lavender Loon and see what they have on their website, because they do some great stuff. Okay, so that's one Rhinebeck knit accessory done. Yay, the rest are not done, so don't get too excited. Oh, I have one that's done. But this I started in June, so it should be done. But I did the Andrea Mowry Metamorphic sweater, which I'll scooch back and show you. I started this in June. Is that right? I think I cast on when I went to Shake Rag with the Modern Daily Knitting Gang. And then I knit a bunch of it when we road trip to California this summer, which was also in late June. This was a great road trip project, and it's so much fun, and it turned out so beautiful. This is Spin Cycle Metamorphic. The dark gray is the Metamorphic yarn, and then dyed in the wool is the beautiful stripes. I'll come up closer because it's gorgeous. It's like yellows and blues and greens, really subtle fade of beautiful Spin Cycle. This was actually my first time knitting with Spin Cycle, and now I get it. I see the appeal of this yarn. It's so gorgeous. It feels so nice. The color shifts are so much fun. Like, I could not get enough, even of just like Sleeve Island. I did not mind Sleeve Island. This was like such a beautiful, fun knit and such a great pattern. And it fits like a dream. It's just a little bit boxy. That's how I like my sweaters. I don't like anything too tight, but I'm super happy with how it turned out, and I just kind of steamed it a little bit yesterday, and so this is going to Rhinebeck, and it kind of matches with my the colors I am drawn to. Usually blues and greens are kind of my thing, cool colors. I love yellow, but I also love blues and greens too. Okay, next, what else do I have going on? I have to even look. It's a bit much. Okay, I got this skein from Manos del Uruguay. I gotta look at what it's called. The yarn is called Cardo, and I had my eye on a hat by Lindsay Degen. Her Instagram is Degen, like D-E-G-E-N, and she does the quirkiest, coolest sweaters and designs. And she has these hats that are pretty simple, and this is just a chunky wool yarn, but I love chunky knits. But this hat is a roll, like a roll-up hat, roll brim hat. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like a little roll, you know, at the edge, you know what I'm talking about. And then on top, it has a smiley face yellow pom-pom, like with the smiley face built in to the pom-pom. You've seen this before. And I don't know why, but this is just like something I have to have. And I have to make that pom-pom, so that's on my to knit list. And this is kind of weird. You probably can't see this here. There's like little variations in the yarn you can barely see, but in the picture, there's more variation in the color of this yarn. Like there's more yellow stripes and kind of orange stripes to it. And I tried to kind of get this to do that with onion skins. If you followed me a little bit on Instagram recently, I did a natural dye workshop with Wing and a Prayer Farms. And she showed us how to do indigo and onion skins and flowers and all different types of things to dye yarn and fiber and cotton and different things. We just kind of played with everything. But I wanted to try onion skins on this. It kind of worked, but I don't really know what I'm doing. And it's gonna be cute without like the variations, but I just was gonna try to get a little bit more yellow orange in there. And maybe when you knit it, you can tell there is like, that's a little different. I don't know, we'll see, it doesn't matter. The smiley face is gonna be the fun part for the pom-pom on top. Then, what else do I have? Okay, so I have a cardigan on the needles that can I finish this? But I don't even know. You should see how many sweaters I have on the needles right now that I wanna have done by October 15th. We'll see. But this is Modern Daily Knitting Atlas, my favorite color pear. I've already made another sweater in pear, and I had to make another sweater in pear. The other one is my Main Squeeze Pullover, which is really fun. It's like a raglan textured kind of sweatshirt pullover, like a loose, cozy layer. And this yarn is so nice. It is so extremely soft. It's Rambouillet wool. It's beautiful to knit with. It comes in a ton of beautiful colors, but you know, I have my pear loyalty. So this is going to be, I don't have very much done, but this has taken a while. It's called the Morchella Cardigan by Whitney Hayward. And this is a fun, she calls it a cartridge rib, and it's not purling, it's just slipped and knit. And so it's really, it speeds along, but I have a lot left, so I don't know if this is gonna happen. I just got to like the little V shaping a little bit, and I still haven't made it to the underarms. But can I do it? I have done crazier things for sure. And like, I just finished a really, really big, large scale secret deadline knitting project for a yarn company that I was working with. And so, and the time frame I completed that was shocking to me, because I've said before, I'm not a fast knitter, but I do know how to like count down the days and kind of schedule out my knitting and make it work. And so like, once I finished that big project, I was like, maybe I can knit 3 sweaters by October. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. And I'm not gonna be hard on myself if I don't finish this, but it would be cool to wear a yellow cardigan to Rhinebeck. I would really love that. I saw like a cool outfit somewhere on Instagram with a cool girl wearing a yellow cardigan, and it just like ding, stuck in my brain, and I was just like, I have to have a yellow cardigan. So we'll see. That's on the needles. If I don't finish it in time, it's okay. I'll finish it this winter. It'll be okay. Then I have, okay, so I remember last year was my first Rhinebeck ever. And I was kind of prepared for the weather. You don't really know what's gonna happen because it's kind of how Iowa is too. I live in Des Moines, Iowa, and our weather is all over the place all the time. And so last year at Rhinebeck was my first Rhinebeck, and it was 2021 Rhinebeck. And the first 2 days, it was like high 70s, and it was hot. And we were in the sun, and you know, we still wore our knits, but it was hot. Then I think the Sunday of Rhinebeck, it got cooler and it was more sweater weather. And then one day in there, it was also like a really bad thunderstorm with like scary dark clouds and like a huge rain that came in, and then there was a beautiful rainbow. But like now I've learned you have to prepare and maybe wear layers and have some different options. So that's my advice if this is your first Rhinebeck, or if you're going to Rhinebeck this year, is if you have a short sleeve sweater, bring it. If you have a super warm, cozy sweater, bring it. If you have like an in-between layer or like a shawl that you can wear over a t-shirt, bring it. Or like a sweater over a dress in case it's kind of warm. That's kind of the weather we're looking at. I don't know. I have to look at the forecast because this year might be different. I'm sure it's different every time, because I know my friends went a few years ago and they froze and it was freezing, and my friend had to buy mittens. Like she bought Angora mittens, I believe, while she was at Rhinebeck because her hands were just freezing. So I think you have to be prepared for anything. But yeah, this is my, oh my gosh. This is my solution in case there's a hot day. Again, this is something I might not have time to finish, but this is a Rowan design by Quail Studio, and it's kind of a tank t-shirt, and it's also a nice fun rib. This is like the rib when you knit a stitch below, and it looks like brioche, but it's not. And this is Rowan cotton cashmere, which is like one of my favorite yarns ever. It's so soft and beautiful and light. And I would have to wear a tank under this because it's a little see-through, but it is so cute. And it's just called a ribbed tee, and it's from their Mode Summer collection from maybe last year. It's kind of looks like a little tank, and they knit it in like a tan cream color. And I'm doing like this dark bluish gray, which I just loved. I love, love, love this yarn. And this would be a fun layer for anything too. And you could put this over like a black turtleneck, or even like a little short sleeve collared shirt. It could be a cute little layer because I'm making it a little oversized and boxy too. This would be fun to get done in a couple of weeks, along with everything else I have in the needles. And then my other whip is the Kordy sweater. Have you seen this? Where's my book? Here we go. Kordy is from the Moon and Turtle book from Pom Pom, and as soon as I saw this book cover, I was obsessed with this sweater. Like, I adore this sweater. And of course, I'm drawn to the yellow one. My friend Erica, who is coming to Rhinebeck with me this year, also really, really loved these sweaters, and she loved the purple one. So we are both gonna wear these, I believe, to Rhinebeck this year, because it is kind of fun to wear a sweater with a friend. And this one I know I can get done, because I have been cruising through this pretty quickly. I divided for the sleeves, I've got the body going. This is knitted in Peace Fleece, which I love. It's very like hardy and, you know, sheepy, and it has that smell, the sheepy smell. I love, love, love the yellow and purple. I love, love, love it. I cannot stress how much I love the colors in this sweater. It's just super, super fun. And just yesterday, I was like up here and I've done all of this. So I really think like today I'll finish the body, give me like a day and a half or 2 days for sleeves, and I'll have this one done. And this is like a seamless, you know, easy, no sew, no seaming type situation. So this Kordy I'll be wearing to Rhinebeck. Then in just a minute, I'm gonna go grab one of my designs. the Cider Mill Pullover, I'm definitely wearing that. I don't know why I didn't have it here in this pile, because it's already done, I suppose. And people sometimes ask me like, oh, don't you wear just all your own sweaters when you go someplace like Rhinebeck, you know, or don't you just knit your own designs? And the answer is no. Sometimes I get sick of my own stuff. I love it too. I mean, and I do wear it all the time. And that's like my whole life is like working on designs and knitting the samples and doing all this stuff. And I love, love, love it. But I also love to knit other people's stuff. I really do. I love to knit whatever I want to knit when I'm not doing like deadline knitting or working for other companies and doing that stuff, which I also love. But if I see a cool sweater and I want to knit it, I'm gonna knit it. And I don't have any rules for myself about that. It's probably bad for self-promotion because I am bad at that. Like at Rhinebeck, I should be wearing all my own stuff, you know, I guess for whatever reasons, but I just want to do what I want to do. And so that's what I do. I don't care. But yes, I am wearing the Cider Mill Pullover, which I'll go grab in a sec, because we are going to have a meetup at across the little hill across from the Cider Doughnuts stand. And a bunch of people reached out and said, are we going to have a meetup? I made your sweater. We're going to meet up. We have to have a picture. So yes, we're going to do that. One sec while I go get mine and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. This is the Cider Mill Pullover, Cider Mill Sweater, whatever you want to call it. And it is made in MDK Atlas, Modern Daily Knitting Atlas. It's their new yarn that came out this past year. And I absolutely love the sweater. I made this specifically for Rhinebeck based on my Rhinebeck memories from last year from when I went for the first time. So the fun thing about this sweater is the little details in the yoke. So if you look closely and in the charts, this top row is coffee cups. The next row is pan flutes. And if you've been to Rhinebeck, when you enter, there's beautiful pan flute music. There's a man playing pan flute in a little tent, and it's just part of the experience and part of your memory of the place. It's just like hearing this music. And then another big memory for most Rhinebeck attendees is the apple cider donuts. And those are right here in a beautiful apple cider donut color. I think it's called cedar in the atlas. I have to look, that might be wrong. And then the beautiful fall leaves of New York. So, and then another round of coffee cups, sorry. So yeah, this was made specifically as like a Rhinebeck sweater. And I'm so honored. A lot of people have been knitting it and will be wearing it to Rhinebeck, which is really, really exciting. I'll be wearing mine. And so Saturday, yes, we're gonna meet up across from the donut stand on the little hill at 12:30 on Saturday of Rhinebeck. So if you want to come take a group picture with us with your Cider Mill sweaters, come hang out and say hi, and we'll make it brief so you can get on your way. But 12:30 Saturday of Rhinebeck, Cider Mill meetup for pictures. And it's been so much fun on Instagram seeing everybody's color combinations. There's like teal sweaters and pink and like super multicolor with all different kinds of yarns, and like, it's so much fun seeing what your vision of it is. Because in my head, it just had to be like these neutrals and then with a dark. And you know, it's like, I love how everybody just takes their own spin on it and makes it their own cool color combination. So yes, come meet me at Rhinebeck with your Cider Mill or without, or any other sweater that you'd like to show me. I know I've seen some people making Francis, which was a Rowan sweater I did. It was like a navy sweater with yellow Fair Isle up here, and that's a really fun one that I've seen a lot of people making too. So yeah, if you see me at Rhinebeck, say hi. I love to see what you're knitting and wearing, and just hanging out with people is like the highlight of Rhinebeck. Also, I'm going to pull up my list here. Another fun thing I like to talk about is packing. It's not fun for most people, but I find it fun. And I'm a terrible overpacker, but I do like to plan my packing carefully, kind of ahead of time. I don't pack like the night before I leave. It's too stressful for me. So I like to pre-pack and then edit and then pre-pack and edit and, you know, take things out and move it around. But okay, so if you're going to Rhinebeck for the first time, I have a little bit of advice just from what I learned at last year's festival. So number one is comfy shoes. Like boots are super, super great if they're super comfortable, because it is like a fairground situation and there's different terrain. And, you know, there's like grassy hills and paths and different things, and you're going to go in barns and there's animals and stuff. And if it's chilly, you're going to want boots. And so comfortable ones though, very comfortable boots. I see some people, I don't know how they do it, like in uncomfortable, like heel situations, or I don't know, like my feet are too messed up for that kind of life these days. So the most comfortable boots you can find, bring a pair of those. And then I also bring a backup pair of super comfortable tennis shoes. I love Vans, and those are my go-to for my particular feet. And I've had like foot surgery and stuff, so I really have to like be cautious about my feet and make sure that I can, you know, walk and hang the whole time. So Vans are my choice, my shoe of choice for things like this. There's a lot of walking, but you won't care. You're gonna be tired, but you're gonna just love every minute of it, so it doesn't really matter. But just, you want comfortable shoes so your feet aren't upset at the end of each night. But if they are, you know, you just have a little tub soak, you know, like just treat your feet nicely. I also, let's see what's on my list. You might want to bring your vaccination card. A lot of the events and the like side events that are happening before Rhinebeck, they have some requirements, and I think at least Wool and Folk has like a Vax card requirement that they want you to show that, or a negative test that has been taken like within the past 24 hours, I believe, or something recent. And depending on where you're from, like in Iowa, our COVID laws are pretty much non-existent, and it's different everywhere, but New York does a pretty good job of keeping people safe. And masks are required a lot of places still, and then they want to see your Vax card, so I would just bring it. There's also an app called New York COVID Safe, I believe, that I used last year, and you can upload a picture of your Vax cards, and they used to ask for that in restaurants. I don't know if they still do, but it's nice just to have that on you in case someone asks for it. My other packing list things are obviously your favorite sweaters, socks, hats, shawls, anything like short sleeve sweaters. Remember, it might be hot. But yeah, bring whatever, and you can get those little space bags that you can roll up that push out the air and kind of roll up your stuff in your suitcase, because it's hard, I know. Packing sweaters is like, it takes space, but this is your time to like show off all your hand knits. It doesn't have to be this year's knits. It doesn't have to be within the last month. It can be anything that you love, but bring them. Yeah, bring your favorite stuff, because this is the time to show it off. Bring a knitting project to work on. I usually bring socks because they're small and I don't have room for anything with all my sweaters in my suitcase, but you're gonna wanna knit with your friends. You're maybe gonna wanna take a break and knit like after you have lunch. There's a lot of places with benches to sit and knit if you wanna just chill and take a step back from all the chaos and crowds and everything. You might just wanna knit a little bit at Rhinebeck, and it's fun to have a knitting project to bring with you. So always that takes a little planning too. Whenever you know when you travel, you just have to like think about all that stuff and plan what you're gonna bring. But if you don't bring something, there's plenty of yarn and needles, and there's lots of yarn stores and Sargotis and all around the area and in Rhinebeck. So there's plenty of places that will hook you up if you didn't bring your supplies. But yeah, it's something to plan for. Comfortable boots, comfortable shoes. Yes. I also bring a pair of those. I get the EVA Birkenstocks. They're like the plastic ones, or just a pair of sandals. Comfortable sandals in case there are hot days and just days you don't want to wear those heavy boots, because really the weather is all over the place, truly. And so I always stick a pair of those in my suitcase. And then just layers. It's hot, and then it might rain, and then it's cold, and then it might rain, and then it's hot, and then it's cold in the evenings. And so just be ready for all these situations, because yeah, like you want cozy sweatpants and sweatshirts at night, and you might be knitting around a little fire, or, you know, knitting with your friends outside on a porch or something. So be ready for all the elements and temperatures because it varies a lot. But I mean, we'll all be looking at the forecast the week before, but you just never know. A raincoat or compact umbrella. I have like an itty bitty compact travel umbrella that I'm gonna bring this time. I think that's the easiest. But maybe a raincoat if you want to cover that beautiful sweater. I mean, if you're wearing wool, it doesn't matter too much, but still you might not want to get soaking wet in your sweater. So just be prepared for a little rain just in case. Bring a tote bag or a backpack or something easy to carry for your purchases as you walk around the fairgrounds and stuff. It can get kind of heavy, and you can go back to your car. You know, if you drove, you can go put your purchases in the car halfway through the day if you need to, or whatever you need to do. But bring some kind of bag to carry stuff in, because it's just, you're gonna need a bag. But there's, you know, also plenty of bags you can purchase there too. We all know we have a bag problem. Project bags and tote bags, aplenty. Still looking at my list. Cash. Oh my gosh, hugely important. Please bring cash. At the fairgrounds, some of the food vendors I remember do not accept credit cards, and you do not want to starve. And then some of the other places had spotty Wi-Fi. So like, you know, even when you're buying yarn from different vendors, sometimes their Wi-Fi works and sometimes not. And sometimes it gets really busy. And if you have cash, it's faster for them and you. So just bring cash. It also helps you kind of stick to your budget. So yeah, kind of save up some cash, stash it aside, and bring it with you. That's a really smart thing to think about. Portable phone charger, another thing that I remember from last year. Your phone is gonna die fast from taking all the pictures, and yeah, so just bring one of those little chargers in your bag with the cord. You're gonna need it because it's a long, fun day, but you don't wanna run out of phone battery. Granola bars or snacks just in case, because sometimes the food lines get super long, and it is good to kind of go eat early if you can. But bring some snacks in case you're suddenly starving and, like, you know, or you had too much coffee and didn't have breakfast and you're in one of those situations where you get a little shaky. A little snack is a smart thing to have with you. Yeah, the rest is just underwear, pajamas, toiletries. I write everything on my little list. What else though? Yeah. Pretty much that's it. I think for like my main. Oh, I did bring bug spray last time. I think in some places it's kind of buggy. Just in case, it's always nice to have like a little bug spray. And then I made a list. And some of these are just places I've heard about or my friends have told me about. I haven't been to all these places, but here's a really good list of places to eat and visit while you're there. Last year, the number one thing that I heard about was Bread Alone. I know everybody who goes to Rhinebeck goes to Bread Alone, but it is like a really special, delicious place, and I get it. And I think you can get breakfast and like avocado toast there and stuff like that, but you can also just get bread and desserts and all kinds of food to bring like to your Airbnb or wherever you're staying, and just kind of snack stuff. That place is definitely worth a visit. The whole main street in Rhinebeck was really cute and had a lot of cool shops and places to stop, so that's like a must-see. Gigi Trattoria, they have pizza, I believe, and that was, I think we did that. Then the Matchbox Cafe has legendary cookies. Modern Taco and Holy Cow is ice cream. There's a place called Pegasus. I think there's a place called Oblong Books, and there's Stickles and Knitting Garage. Hammertown, Paper Trail, Terrapin, the Amsterdam, Le Petit Bistro, Slices for Pizza, I remember that was good. The falafel place, that was really good too. There's like so many must-have foods that it's just like, oh, lots of fun. perfect blend is the yarn shop in Saugerties. That looks really cool. And then our little group, and I'm going with a few knitters from here in Des Moines, and I'm excited to travel with these guys. None of us have traveled together, and but it's gonna be really fun. My friend Erica and I have hosted a knitting retreat for years here in Des Moines, and so we've always been friends through that, and now we're excited to travel together. And she's never been to New York City, so we're gonna explore that together. And then my other friends, Anna and Azra, are sisters, and it's gonna be like a fun group of us coming together for the first time. So our Airbnb is actually kind of a fancy little barn in Tivoli. I don't know if that's how you say it. Tivoli. I ate in Tivoli last year at a really, really good restaurant. And it's a cute little town. And so that's where our barn Airbnb is. It's actually really cool. It was in Dwell magazine, so I'm really excited. It's very rustic, but cool, and like has everything you need, and it's beautiful. But I wrote down some things we're gonna do there because every little town has their things, and you kind of have to check it out as you go. But in Tivoli, there's a place called Bread and Baking, which has pastries and coffee. There's a Mercantile, Tivoli General. I wish I had looked up how to spell or say Tivoli or Tivoli. I don't know, it's really gonna bother me now because I'm totally saying it wrong, I'm sure. Yeah, Tivoli General has sandwiches, salads, and charcuterie supplies and drinks. The corner is for lunch and dinner, and that is our Airbnb host's favorite spot, so I trust that. A place called Fortune's Ice Cream, Giobata Elementary. Tops has a grocery store with Starbucks. I know that. I don't know what city Tops is in, but it's a grocery store with a Starbucks in case you need that. Not in Tivoli, but somewhere else. Maybe in Rhinebeck is a place called Buns that has really good burgers. Like I've heard like legendary burgers. Saugerties has a Dunkin' Donuts, and that's where everybody grabs coffee too. Another place to get your fix. I've heard Village Pizza in Rhinebeck has really good New York style pizza. And then there's a place called Cinnamon, I think, in Rhinebeck. And that is my very random list. And I'm sorry, that was not probably a good way to explain all that. There's a lot there to eat and see and do. There's the yarn shops, there's plenty of places to get really good food. And there's plenty of places to stock up on like grocery type things too if you're doing Airbnb and want to kind of make things yourself and have little picnic style lunches or whatever you need to do, because it is kind of like eat and go, and and you come home and you're tired. So yeah, there's a lot of different options. And that's kind of all I had to talk about today. Let me know what you're knitting, Rhinebeck or not, just your fall knitting projects. What are you working on? What are you doing this fall? Are you super into your knitting, or are you just kind of cruising through and watching what everybody else is making? There's so much inspiration out there and so many cool things lately that I'm just like, everything I see is something I want to make, and there's only so much time, with all these whips laying around here. So anyway, I really hope to see you. If you're going to Rhinebeck, come say hi. I'm so excited, clearly, to go back and yeah, I mean, just seeing all of my friends is really the best part. We all know this. Friends new and old and far, near, everybody. The food is a highlight also, and just going with these friends from Des Moines, and I can't wait to bring the little Iowa crew to Rhinebeck and, do everything we've been waiting to do this whole year. I think we booked our Airbnb. It was probably last October, and our first Airbnb was like this modern house. It was like all windows, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I think outside of Saugerties maybe, and it had like a hot tub. It was a dream, but they emailed us and had to cancel And so we had to quickly find another spot, and we're so lucky that we did. This is a few months ago, so at least we had some time, but luckily we found the barn in Tivoli, or Tivoli. I'm gonna go look it up now because I can't keep saying it the wrong way. But anyway, happy knitting, have fun with whatever you're working on, and I will see you next time.